Friends, welcome back to Akshar Education Hub. In today's video, we are going to deal with the MCQs of narrative writing. What can be asked as an MCQ from the narrative writing for the students of first year of Vnsgu Surat under the syllabus of written and spoken communication from the book The Spectrum. I am Dr. Samir Parekh from SS Agrawal College of Commerce and Management, Navsari, will take you through the journey of MCQs in the narrative writing. But before we proceed, I again request you to like, share, and subscribe my YouTube channel, Akshar Education Hub, and press the bell icon for the latest update on this channel. So friends, now we shall move to the MCQs of the narrative writing. In this section of the video, narrative writing, I am going to discuss nearly 24 MCQs of narrative writing. Again, this can be used as just sample MCQs, which can be asked, or type of MCQs can be asked from the narrative writing. We are going to see just examples of MCQs. Okay. Now, and for your reference, I have bold marked the answers. What is a narrative? What we call a narrative? Is it a story or a poetry or a biography or a research project? And as you know, narrative is a story. That means the time and place in which events happen in the story. Okay, time and place in which events happen in the story. Is it called chronological order? Is it called setting? Is it called a dialogue or a transition words? It is called setting. Third question. All of the following are elements of narrative writing except जो चार दिए गए हैं उनमें से एक odd man out है. Okay, setting, problem and solution, has a beginning, middle and end, teaches the reader something new. C is the right answer. True or false? Descriptive words are important because they add detail to the story. Yes, it is true. Descriptive words, what we call adjectives. Adjectives are important because they add details to the story. What is the dialogue? We have seen the same question into the dialogue writing MCQs as well. What is the dialogue? Action at the end of the story? Is it the conversation between characters? Author's point of view, chronological order. B, it is the conversation between characters is called dialogue. An example of transition word out of these four, which is the transition word? Transition word means एक ऐसा शब्द जो आपको टॉपिक चेंज करने में मदद करे. ओके, और आपको कोई और बात करने में मदद करे. That is known as the transition word. Can't, freezing, next and difficult. So next is the right transition word. Seventh question. An example of sensory detail is, sensory details means ऐसी डिटेल जो आपकी इंद्रियों को छुए, इंद्रियों को टच करे, ऐसी कौन सी डिटेल इस चार में दी गई है? Rattling, thunder and lightning flashes, talking, magic wand and happy. First A, rattling thunder means हमको आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, and lightning flashes, we are watching the flashes happening. So it touches our two senses, eyes and ear. So that is why they are sensory details. ऐसा कोई अलग एग्जाम्पल देके भी आपको ये सवाल पूछा जा सकता है. This is the example of eye and ear. You may have touch sensation, you may have smell sensation, you may have taste sensation. तो उसके हिसाब से भी आपको अलग अलग एग्जांपल्स देके सवाल पूछा जा सकता है. True or false? A narrative must have characters. True. Without characters, how can it be a narrative? The part of the story that ties up all the loose end and takes care of the conflict. It is, what is the part that ties up the loose end of the story? Is it the climax? Is it the theme? Is it the resolution, or is it the introduction? Resolution means when the story is about to end, it ties all loose ends of the story. Character versus self is an dash conflict, internal or external. Character, and if I am a character and I'm talking to myself, so it's an internal conflict. In this element of plot, the author introduces the characters and setting. In which part of the story the author introduces the characters? Resolution is almost the end. Climax is before the end. Exposition is the next step or the second step of the story, and rising action is the more advancement of the story. So exposition, after the introduction, in the exposition, the author introduces characters. 12th question. A struggle between two or more opposing forces. Sorry, I have written wrong answer has been marked. A struggle between two or more opposing forces. Is it climax, conflict, character, or chapter? It's B, conflict. Conflict is a struggle between opposing forces. Climax. What is climax? Event that make up a story, the turning point for the protagonist, settings and characters, or the solution to the problem. It is the turning point for the protagonist, the climax. 14th question. When a main character's problem is resolved, authors call that the death of the story. It is the closure of the story. When the problem is solved, story ends. So it is known as the closure of the story. What is the purpose of a narrative? Why it is told? वो किस उद्देश्य से बनाया जाता है? To give the reader information, to persuade the reader, to tell a story, or to describe the characters. It is to tell a story. The narrative is, the main function of the narrative is to tell a story. True or false? It is a good idea to hook reader at the beginning of the story. It's true that you should hook the reader. Hook means you need to connect the reader from the beginning of the story. The time and place in which the story happens, it is called settings. Narratives should have a problem, a solution, a counterclaim, or a problem and solution. It should have both a problem and solution. What are all the senses? We have 5 senses: hearing, seeing, smelling, touching, and tasting. So first one is the right answer. It includes all 5 senses. True or false? When writing a narrative, it is not acceptable to use slang. Only formal standard written English is used. Is it true or false that the slang is not allowed? It is false. You can use slangs in a dialogues while writing a narrative. Which part of the plot introduces the characters? Exposition, we have done it already. True or false? A narrative piece of writing is always written in first person. False. It can be written in third person as well. Okay. When you introduce a new character to a conversation using dialogue, what must you do? We must use a tag for the character. So these are the examples of the MCQs that can be asked from the narrative writing. I hope it would be useful for you to know more about the narrative writing and its MCQ. Before we end this video, I again request you to like, share and subscribe this YouTube channel, and also like this video. Please give your comments on the video, that what you need and how you find this video, and please press the bell icon for the latest update on this channel. Thank you very much. Have a good day.